Has it that an old friend of yours with bleached blonde hair was particularly upset by this and made it known to anyone that would listen in WCW?
I do remember that, as you say it, that it came. But again, that's just typical Dick, you know. And I'm not talking.
Did you say Rick or Dick?
No, I said Dick.
Oh, you said Dick.
Yeah, I meant to say Dick. It's so apropos and it fits so well.
You guys haven't hugged and kissed yet? All these years. All these years. You know, brothers in the same fraternity, really.
We are. Yeah, we've come from very different cloths. You know, I've never expected anybody to kiss my ass in this business, fans or wrestler or promoter. But Rick seems to have this penchant that he has the right to get up and make a demand for a draw at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that somehow it should miraculously have the ATM machine appear in front of him, and how dare it not? You know, it's Dick Flair, the classic meltdown.
But your interactions in person,
yeah,
he's usually very respectful of you to your face. He fears you a bit.
Well, he's you know, Rick, you know, he can turn the charm on when he has to. You know, you know, and I've mentioned this many times, but Ric Flair is one of the reasons I got into the business. He was the type of guy that, as a kid sitting at home watching, and I mean a small kid, Dick, he was the guy that I used to watch on television or read about in the magazine and say, damn, that guy is what a wrestler is supposed to be. And then meeting him later in person and realizing that he was, you know, I mean, we all have skeletons in our closet, and we all fall far short of the bar that we set in our own mind. But this guy fell so quantumly short of being anything even close to what I had in my head for him.
How long did it take you to realize that after meeting him?
I would say probably within the first 3-4 months. You know, and only because you know, the way I was trained to come into the business, I was told, keep your mouth shut, your eyes and ears open. Pay attention. So the guy that I was paying attention to was him, because that was the guy that I had hoped to be like one day. And when I see him pulling his penis out in a bar full of kids, you know, running up and down a hallway like some fraternity boy at 46 years old, the world heavyweight champion, that represents a company, I felt, even as a kid then that didn't know what the hell I was doing one way or the other, I knew I didn't want anybody looking at him doing those type of idiotic, absurd, obscene things, looking at me and thinking, well, he's a wrestler and that guy over there's a wrestler, so do you do that too? No, I don't pull my penis out in a bar full of kids. I don't run up and down a hall at 46, 7 years old naked and stomping on doors and going up to women I don't even know and dragging them into the middle of a dance floor and, you know, making a fool of myself. These were the things that I saw him doing, and you know, it was embarrassing to me.
Was he disrespectful to other wrestlers?
Rick was disrespectful in covert ways that he wouldn't even realize, just because he had had so many people, you know, kissing his rear end for so long and blowing smoke up his backside that he didn't even realize when he was being disrespectful to people, I think, a lot of the times. But other times he clearly did, and I think he relished in that. You know, and I think that's part of the reason, my own commentary, I think that's part of the reason why, you know, we're hearing these stories about him today. You know, to me, in my mind, at this stage of his career, Ric Flair should be, you know, the elder statesman of our business. You know, not being talked about in the stories that we're hearing about. Whether they're twisted or not, there's some semblance of truth, whatever the semblance of truth is, and the nugget of, and the grain of truth at the center. You know, for anybody 60 years old to be acting like that is, as a representative of the company, the only question I have is to, you know, to Dixie Carter and anybody else that's in a position of authority at TNA is, why would they allow it to go on, and why would they not leave him there and fire him, not leave him there and then bring him back a couple of days later and then he's back on TV.
Has he finally, I mean, has he come unglued completely? Has he unraveled?
The stories that I'm hearing from different people, I've not seen it because I've not been around. You know, I work, you know, my own schedule and want it that way. But I'm hearing stories from several people, you know, about him making demands to Dixie about him not being happy with his suite at the DoubleTree, about the thing with the payoff, and it's just, to me, it's sad. Again, my personal differences aside, that this guy, who was the embodiment of professional wrestling for so many years, has become this sort of sidekick, butt of the joke, and it's sad. I would hope for him. We've seen so many deaths in this business and so many, train wrecks that, I don't wish that for anybody or on anybody. I would like to see that, whatever it is that Rick feels that he needs to, I don't know if he's covering something up or trying to conceal something or compensate for something else. To me, I would much rather see the Ric Flair yardstick champion that was the measuring stick to everybody, as an icon at that point, as opposed to this guy that everybody's scratching their head and going, did you hear this Ric Flair story? Did you hear that Ric Flair story?